Hey everybody, it's time for another Tip Tuesday. Today's question comes from Keisha and she wants to know how she can keep her Waterline liner on longer throughout the day. After she places it on, it's good, but then it starts to kind of run down her face or like it ends up underneath her eyes and she doesn't want to walk around looking like a raccoon. So if you want to know how to prolong the liner that you place on your waterline, stay tuned. Okay, so as we know, there are a number of liners on the market. You have gel liners, you have felt tip liners, you have liquid liners, pencil liners, powder liners, anything that you could probably think of is available for people to purchase, right? But for this exercise, which is how can we keep the liner that we place on our waterline on longer throughout the day, you need to get a pigmented liner. Grab a black pencil liner. It needs to be creamy enough so as not to irritate your waterline, but it is not too creamy. So you have to find that perfect balance. The way that you test it out is simply by drawing a line on the back of your hand. So I happen to have MAC Smolder eye kohl. Normally kohl liners are more pigmented than your typical pencil liner. So, and then this one just happens to be creamy enough for me where I can draw a line without much error and it doesn't irritate my eye. And I have very sensitive eyes, so that's very important to me. But I'm not encouraging you to go out and purchase MAC Smolder. I have a discount, obviously, so I understand if you don't want to shell out the money for MAC. I just so happen to have a discount. So anyway, you want to test it on the back of your hand. Once you draw a line on the back of your hand, which is what I'm going to do now, you're going to let it set. Once it sets for a while, you then just take your finger and rub it back and forth. Now, this is just a testing mode. You're going to rub it back and forth. If it doesn't even last on your hand, there's no way it's going to last on your waterline. That's number one, okay? So step one, get a pigmented, creamy but not too creamy, I know, pencil liner. Draw a line on the back of your hand, let it sit. I'm not going to rub it just yet. I'm going to do step two and then we will come back to step one so that I can show you that it doesn't move that much. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, you are going to take a translucent powder. Today I'm using Ben Nye's neutral set colorless face powder. That's what it's called. And you are going to dust it under your lash line, not in the waterline, but directly under your lower lash line. It's going to act as a barrier to prevent the liner in your waterline from transferring down to that area. So I'm just going to use this Real Techniques brush. I have no idea what the brush is called, but it's the purple little fluffy brush. I placed some of the translucent powder just in the palm of my hand, and I am going to dab it on my lower lash line like so. It's okay if it falls down a little bit because it's translucent, so it won't mess up your makeup if you have already placed your makeup on for the day, which I have. So as you can see, the area is nice and powdered. You can leave it there and then rub it away when you are done with your liner. So now we want to go back to step one and check the liner that we want to use. So there is going to be some transfer, like I said, but you can hear I am rubbing my hand and there is still product there. Okay, I didn't have any base on my hand. All I did was draw a line. I didn't put anything on top of it, and there's still product there. There wasn't too much removal of product when I rubbed my finger on it. Even rubbing my hand, it's still there. So we're good to go. On to step three. Step 3 is simply to line your waterline. So I use a mirror, obviously, and then I I make sure the pencil is sharp enough, and then I make sure there's no like jagged edges on the pencil so as not to irritate. That's a very sensitive area of your eye. You don't want to jack that up at all. So I kind of hold my eye down and then just quick strokes, however you feel comfortable doing it. Step 4, after you line your waterline, I like to press my eye together really tight, and that kind of sets the liner that you placed, and it kind of also tight lines, which is the upper waterline of your eye. It kind of helps to set it in both places and also helps to prevent the transfer. So you line your eye, press your eye together really, really, really tight. I will make that step 3.5. Step 4, and the final step, is to set the liner that you placed on your waterline with a shadow or powder, but a shadow that is the same color as the liner that you placed on your waterline. So for this exercise, I'm using a Makeup Forever Artist shadow. I don't know what the number is, but it's just a black shadow. And then I'm using a mini eyeshadow brush. This is a mini smudger, and it's by Crown brush, and it's kind of flat, so it fits right into that area. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and I'm kind of just putting it on the tip but on both sides because I kind of want to move quickly. Again, step 4.5, press it together really tight to set it. And there you have it. After that, if you want to go back in and dust away, if you have any leftover product from the translucent powder, you can. And there you have it. Your waterline should last a little bit longer for you. Again, just like with anything, it depends on the person. It depends on how sensitive your eyes are, how much they water. I have very sensitive eyes. They water a lot. They get itchy a lot. I have to rub them a lot. But normally when I do this, it lasts for pretty much the whole day. I don't have to really touch up under the eye at all from transfer. So I hope that this helps. If you have any questions, as always, leave them below. If you have a question of your own that you would like to submit for Tip Tuesday, please do that as well. I am Shauna Janelle across all social media platforms. You can also leave your question here on YouTube, and that is shaunajanelle.com. I thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.